This is topic B on page 155, applying transitions. You have corrected all of the spelling and grammatical errors in your presentation. You could deliver your presentation as is and have a successful event. However, you want your presentation to really stand out. Repeatedly presenting one slide after another with no transition effects can get monotonous for the audience. You may want to add some flair to the transitions between your slides. PowerPoint contains a host of onboard transition effects that can liven up your presentation. You can also apply slide transitions to emphasize slides that convey an important point. So transitions are visual effects that occur as you advance from one slide to the next in a presentation. PowerPoint includes a wide array of transition effects that you can apply to the slides in your presentation. You can modify the speed, change transition attributes such as direction or shape, and add sounds to transitions. Transitions can play automatically, respond to keystrokes or mouse clicks, or play after a specified period of time. I'm going to navigate to slide number 1, my example presentation, and up on your ribbon you have a tab devoted specifically to your transition effects. And these are kind of like animations between your slides, so the movement from one slide to the next. When you apply a transition to a slide, it's important to remember that the transition is taking place to this slide. So if I have slide 1 selected, and from my gallery I choose one of the listed transitions, let's say curtains, this is always a good one for the slide number 1, the transition is going to play out before the slide that I apply it to. So when I go to play this from the beginning, you see I get my transition of my curtains and then it goes into slide 1. So important fact to remember about that. The transition, you're applying it to that slide before it. So you can see I had a whole gallery. You have some subtle transitions. You have a section for exciting transitions and dynamic as well. So that curtain one, you can always preview it again. You have your button here to preview it in your application window. Just like our animations, some of our transitions will have different effect options, where you can change the direction that the transition is coming from, sometimes the shape of it, things of that nature, which I'll show you an example in just a second. But to the right of my transition to this slide, we have our timing group. You have options. You can play a sound with your transition. You have different options here if you want to try those out. So those sounds will play with the transition. Now, underneath this, the duration. This is how long it will take the transition to play out. So just like our animation, the longer, or I should say the higher we set our duration to, the slower your transition is going to go. So I'm going to set this to 10 seconds. And if I was to play that from the beginning, you can see my curtains are opening much more slower. Okay, so the higher the duration, the slower the transition. Now, if I pick a transition, you can apply a different transition to every single one of your slides. Or if you find one that you like and you set your duration how you want it, you could, if you wanted to, apply that to all. So I could go ahead and apply my curtain transition with a duration of 10 seconds to every single one of my slides. And when I played it out now, it's going to open to slide 1. My winter wonder, think outside the house. And when I transition to slide number 2, you can see that slide beforehand becomes the curtains and it opens up. It's pretty cool. So now that 10-second curtain transition is set to every single one of my slides. And you can see how it really adds some life into your presentation. You're not just clicking through stagnant slides one by one by one. It makes it a little more, visually appealing for your audience. Now, again, like I said, you can have a different transition for every single one of your slides if you want to. Now, in your timing group as well, you have your advanced slide section. By default, everything is set to advance in your slideshow mode when you click your mouse, hit your space bar, your enter key, whatever you use to manually transition. But you also have the option to automatically transition. By checking this after box and setting a time, let's say 5 seconds, and I'm going to apply that to all. When I play my slideshow out now, it's going to play the transition out, and as soon as the transition is fully through and I'm at my slide, it starts counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that next transition will play out and it will automatically advance for me. So that was without me clicking anything. It's going by itself now. Now I'll warn you, 5 seconds in a PowerPoint presentation sometimes feels like an eternity. So when you're making your own presentations, take that into account. It may sound like a very short amount of time, but you want to practice what the text on your slide, the pictures, things of that nature. Make sure your audience is given enough time to read through everything, take a look at all the graphics, charts, tables, whatever you have on there. So just make sure they have enough time to look at everything. Now, I have this on advanced after 5 seconds on each slide, but I still kept that checkbox for mouse click checked off as well. So if I want to advance the slide faster than 5 seconds, I can still click through. So that was me. Let me show you again. Let me start it over. I can still use my mouse to click before the 5 seconds plays out. So here, I'm clicking and it's going automatically. Okay, so that is from the advanced slide section. If you only want it to be able to advance by timings, you can uncheck on mouse click. And then even if I do click my mouse or hit my space bar or enter key or any of my other keys, it's not going to advance until that 5 second mark. And then the opposite, if you only want to advance it manually on mouse click, doesn't matter what the timing would be here, it's automatically going to go through only when someone manually advances it. All right, so you can go through, take a look at some of your options here. Here's your subtle. Some of them go relatively quick. There's a push. And for the push one, this does have some different effect options. You can see you can push from the bottom, from the left, from the right, and from the top. So you can go in and individually. Your next video will be Activity 6.2 on page 157.